Yes, Mr. Patrick, please.
Yes, this is him.
Yes, Mr. Patrick, this is Joey Casim.
Hi.
Have you had a chance?
Well, I couldn't reach Steve, but I'm pretty sure that he'll,
But with your partner.
Pardon?
With your partner.
Oh, yeah, I talked with her.
Yes.
So, on that particular dog,
Yes.
the only way we would do it
All right.
is to either sell her outright
All right.
or we would take the dog and you could witness everything if you wanted to, and we would breed her to Blaze and take, the best possible care of the puppies and have you pick the pups up at the earliest possible time.
Could we do this, Mr. Patrick? You see, first of all, I have a list of things I want to ask you to make sure I don't forget anything.
Dogs is
My
business,
mind.
so you can take your time and
All right.
ask anything.
I was going to ask you, first of all, do you like pistachio nuts? Do you like them?
Pistachio nuts?
Yes. That's the business I'm in. I'm going to bring you about 10 pounds if you like them. I import them from
I probably have some
Iran.
friends that do.
All right, I'll bring you a bag.
I'm always on a diet, it seems like, so I don't eat too many nuts. But
well, I'll bring you a 10-pound bag. That's what the money. The first of every month, I have the money coming in from that, and I need a place to spend it. You see, that's part of the problem. So the money isn't.
Well, I'd sure like to see that place. That'd be great with me.
Yes, but we're having problems right now in Iran, where Eddie and I are from, of course, with the money. So we're over here, and I'm kind of a gypsy soul right now, but I enjoy these dogs, and the money is no problem. Could I do this, though? If I buy her, I can buy her for the 10,000. Okay. Can I give her back to you anyway? And then possibly, because I don't know what to do with her after I breed her to Blaze.
Oh, yeah, sure, we'd help you out.
I will give her back to you, and then maybe you can either sell her, or if you want to keep her, maybe sell one pup each time and give me the money or whatever.
Oh, sure,
all right?
sure. We'd love to do that. We'd be thrilled to do that. Right. And, if you're talking about spending that kind of money,
yes,
we can put you on top of these dogs. I promise you that. I've put other guys on top where they had nothing, and now they got the best dogs. Sarah's is a good example. Sarah's...
now, I don't think I know him.
Well, that's Wichita.
Oh, Mr. Wichita, all right.
Wichita come to me, a complete beginner.
Yes.
Didn't know anything, had a couple of dogs, and...
Yes.
So
he told Eddie that you sold him some very good ones.
That's right.
I have not spoken with him yet, but...
he's won 7 out of 8 fights, and all with dogs that he got from me.
Yes.
And he just won another one in 2.5 hours. But like I say, he didn't really have much when he first come to me.
Right.
So if I can make a profit out of the deal, I'm going to try and put who's ever working with me ahead. And we would love to do that then.
Yes.
So that's what you'd want to do, buy the bitch outright?
Well, let's go over it completely. I have this list to make sure. First of all, I want to make sure up front that everything is a contingent on breeding to Wichita's Blaze. All right. So you can take care of that. All right. So we won't worry about that anymore. Here's what I can do if you can help me with this. I can leave here on Sunday, and I can have the money on Friday, but I can't leave on Saturday. I have a meeting I have to go to. So I can fly out. I checked on Western Airlines, has a flight to Tucson, and I can fly over. Could I pay you $100 to pick me up and take me to a hotel, and then Monday I hate to carry the cash with me, so what I'm going to do, but I know you probably want the cash, so there's no record.
There was a few things that my partner wanted to mention as well, so let me tell you them.
All right.
Because I guess we're pretty cautious about the money, because the whole business is illegal anyway.
Right, and and I'm wondering about the money also, because what I'm doing is what you call laundering money. You see what I mean? This is money that is not from the business.
Well, we're in the same boat. So we don't want any witnesses to the transaction either.
Fine.
You'd be coming by yourself then.
Yes. Let me see if this would be all right with you. You could pick. I'll make reservations on Western Airlines for Sunday, and I will call you back on Saturday and tell you what time I will be coming in. They have a morning.
Yeah, we can pick you up for the $100.
And if you will take me to a hotel and let me spend Sunday night, and then Monday, what I will have is a cashier's check made out to myself on First Interstate Bank. You see, and if you will drive me to a First Interstate Bank, just you and your partner, I will come by myself. I will cash the check and then give you the cash money.
Okay.
All right. I just hate
wanted to get it in small bills.
Yes, I will. I just hate to take $10,000 in cash on an airplane. Someone might hit me on the head.
Yeah,
you know.
okay.
So I will have a check made out to myself.
Sure, we can do that.
And then if you would take me back to the plane and do whatever I have to have for the dog, a health certificate or whatever, I will pay you extra for that.
Okay.
If you will have her ready to ship, and I will go back on Monday, and I will make reservations for a Monday evening.
Okay.
And I will come in Sunday afternoon.
All right, you got a deal then.
Well, I have.
Now, one thing about this bitch I'd like to ask, because I've had her for a long time, and I've already tested her years ago.
Yes.
You're buying her strictly as a breeding bitch, right?
Yes, I'm using her as, how you would say, a conduit.
So you're not planning to roll her?
No. Here's what I want to do. I want to take her, and Eddie has a little condominium and a nice little backyard. He will make her a house dog and keep her there until she comes in heat. And then I will take her to Mr. Wichita myself.
Okay, but be careful. She's been raised on a chain all right.
Well, that's all right.
That's
all right. We will take care of her. We will make her a house dog.
Okay, well, I guess, you know, after I got to 10,000, all I'd be worried about is just I really love this dog, so I wouldn't want anything bad to happen.
But let me tell you, even though you had the 10,000, I still want to make you this deal because you know what to do with her more than I. Here is what I'm looking at. I want to have a lit. And then there's something else. I just thought of something else. I want to have a litter of pups of Blaze and her. All right?
It's a good breeding.
That's what I want. And then the next thing I want to do, here's what I'm hoping you will do for me. All right? I would like to give her back to you.
Okay.
All right? And no strings attached. Just give her to you. All right?
This must be my lucky day.
No, it's not, because I'm going to ask something very big in return.
Okay.
I want a match dog.
You want a match dog?
Yes, I want a match dog at that time. And not right now. We're talking about 6 months, maybe a year from now.
When you give her back?
Yes, that's what I would like to do.
Oh yeah, right. I can get you a match dog.
And this is what I figure. I figure the match dog will be worth 5,000. You see what I mean? So I want a good one, because I'm going to give her back to you. Okay. No strings attached. She's yours. So what I will pay you is $5,000 for the breeding to Blaze and have the litter of puppies, and then the other $5,000 I'm going to consider the price that you will sell me a match dog for, and I will give her back to you.
Okay.
So for 10,000,
that sounds like a good deal.
For 10,000, I will have a match dog. Now I know you can't guarantee one that will win, but get me a good one. You know, a good one.
Okay, that's what I get for getting Blissy back.
I will give her back to you if you want. If you don't, well then you're not up. But if you want her back, I would like to trade her for a match dog.
Okay.
I don't have any use for her after this. I'm not a breeder like you. I don't know what I'm doing. You see.
Okay.
All right.
I understand. And I think I can come up with a good match dog to get Blissy back.
All right. I will take your word for it. Now, here's the other thing. There's a couple of things I wanted to ask you about, if it will be all right. Sure. I want to make sure that I am not getting any trouble about this breeding. Now, okay, Eddie has talked to Mr. Wichita. I don't know the other gentleman you talked about, but I've talked to Mr. Williams on the phone.
Well, Mr. Williams is an enemy of mine, so I can't do any business that involves him.
Right, no, I know that. But I mean, I don't want any problems with him. And he did not say anything. I didn't even ask him about you.
He doesn't own a hair on Blaze's head.
Right, no, that's not what I mean. But I mean about the pedigree about Reuben.
The pedigree?
Yes. Now, here's what I want to do. See if this is
He's registered as 4 bits, and that's the way he's got to stay.
Yes, that's how I'll register him. But what about, you have said that, first of all, I will just come out and tell you. Sometimes I don't know how to say it tactfully, you know, so I will just ask you point blank, all right? I will take your word for it. Blitz, for example. Blitz is the mother of this dog we are buying.
Yes, most definitely.
Bred to Bolio.
That's right.
All right. Now, Blaze will be bred to her. That's how the puppies will be bred that we have. Now, Blaze is Reuben, and Blitz is how he's really bred, Mr. Wichita.
Breeding on him, yes.
That's the true breeding. But for some reason, you can't say it.
Well, like I say...
I'm not getting any trouble, am I?
No, you're not. I'll explain the whole thing.
If you could just tell me quickly, not everything, but just...
When Smith and me...
But pardon, so I don't have a gun stuck in my head or something.
Oh, no, it's no big deal.
All right.
I'll explain it to you.
All right.
What happened is Smith and me used to be, not friends, but we were, friendly.
Right.
And a few things went down, and we become enemies. He really did me a lot of disservices,
Right.
And,
what did he do? I mean, did he do bad things? Not steal dogs or anything?
No, nothing like that.
Oh, all right.
Just told some lies about me and things, and about my dogs.
Yes.
And then Steve had told him that I had used Reuben for a breeding,
Now, Steve is Wichita.
Yeah, Steve is Wichita. And he told Smith that, or somehow Smith found out, and he asked me about it, And I said, yeah, I did use him for that dog, you know, for that breeding. And he said, well, will you go public with it? And at the time, he'd done all this other shit to me.
Right.
You know, we'd been feuding, and I said, no, man, I'm not going to do anything, and I'm not going to do you any favors after all the things
he had told lies about you then.
Yes. Yeah, he had done me a lot of, just told a lot of lies about me, that I had bought the police to his house and stuff like that, and a lot of different things.
It's a tough
I can't
game.
even remember them all now. Right. But the thing of it was, we were definitely enemies.
Right.
And
he owned.
I would not.
Mr. Smith owned Reuben, not Mr. Smith owned Reuben, and not Mr. William.
Now. Yes. At the time that I had the dog, that guy Skip McMichaels, as far as I knew, owned him.
All right.
And then, but there's no like Blaze is owned by Steve Sayers 100%.
Right. I just want to make sure I'm not so Blaze is Reuben and Blitz, but I will say on the papers that it is 4-bit simply.
That's right, but for your own personal knowledge.
Right, so I know how to breed the dogs.
But I don't want you to repeat that.
No.
Because if too many people start saying it, it makes me look like a liar, and in this particular case, I am lying.
Right.
But if Smith was a friend of mine and had treated me halfway decent, I'd come right out with it in public, you know.
Right.
But he's done me a lot of bad things, and he's, you know, so because of that reason, I'm
just tell me, well, what is he? I'm interested. What did he really do? He sounds like a very bad man.
Well,
he just told lies.
It's nothing where it's just a bunch of lies.
I see.
That he told other people about things that I did or stuff like that. Like right now, he's claiming, for instance, that every good dog I have is off of Reuben.
Oh, and that's
which I only bred the dog to 2 bitches, and at the time that I did this, the dog was in my care to do with anything I wanted to.
Because of Mr. Michaels. Because of Mr. Michaels or something.
Because of Mr. McMichaels, yeah. That's who gave me the dog, and he said, here, take him, roll him, use him for breeding. He said, you know, he wanted me to sell him and get him $500 for the dog. Yes. That's all he wanted. He wanted me to sell the dog, and anything I could get over $500 I could keep.
Yes.
Well, I never was able to sell the dog for a decent price.
So how did Mr. Smith end up with him then? I don't understand.
Okay. Him and McMichaels must have settled between themselves because he called me, Bobby Smith called me, and he wanted this dog back. And I said, well, you give me a call from Skip McMichaels that everything is okay, and I'll give you the dog back. So I got it from Skip.
So Mr. Michaels called you and said that...
Mr. Michaels called me and said he can have the dog back. So I told Smith to give me $100 for taking care of the dog for the last year and a half.
Right.
And I would return his dog.
Right, so he got him back then.
So he gave me the $100, and I gave him back his dog. Right. And but at the time, I didn't know he had a thing to do with the dog. Like, I don't know what went on between him and Mr. McMichaels. Yes. But my deal was with Skip, and when I took the dog, to my knowledge, Skip was full owner, and he turned the dog over to me to do with anything I wanted, but primarily to sell the dog, because he was getting out of dogs.
Yes.
And he just wanted to get, you know, some money for Reuben.
Yes.
But anyway,
all right. So that answers
all the different, you know, he just did one thing after another. It was all verbal. Yes. I mean, it was nothing, he didn't steal anything from me or anything like that. It's just, you know, your reputation. Somebody tells, you name it, think of something bad, and he said it about me.
Right.
And then after all this, when he found out that his dog sired a good dog, he didn't say anything about it until Blaze made champion. And then all of a sudden, he makes a big fuss. And I told him to go to hell. I said, if you treated me halfway decent, I would give your dog the credit. But after all the you know, things you've done to me, I'll never admit that dog was off of Reuben.
But for I'm writing it down on my Pedigree right now. It is
for your own knowledge,
it will be
so you'll know
Reuben and Blitz. All right.
Reuben is truly his sire, but I don't want that.
No, I won't. No, I won't say it, Mr. You know, maybe you need to talk to Mr. Wichita because he's told us.
I know it.
He told us that
drives me crazy. If he had kept his mouth shut in the first place, Smith would have never known.
Well, now there's one other boy. Maybe I will tell you about. I don't know if you know him, but at the fight 2 weeks ago, he was there in California. His name is Richard.
Oh yeah, I have no use for that guy either.
Yes, but I might just tell you, he also says that the dog was off. That's how we found out first that dog was off of Reuben, and then we wanted to buy Blaze, so Eddie called you to get Mr. Wichita's number, and then he said it also. So we didn't know what to do. We weren't sure.
Well, that guy, Richard Garcia, is just a dummy. He's just a stoop, and
yes. Well, just so you know that he's also saying it.
Oh yeah,
now,
I know who my friends and enemies are in this game most of the time.
Yes.
Wichita is a friend of mine, but he just talks too much.
Yes.
You know, if he kept his mouth shut about Blaze, Smith would have never found out. But anyway, he's officially 4 bits, which is all that I want.
So when I
want him to get the satisfaction.
Yes. So when I register him, then I will register him like you tell me to.
Okay.
All right.
The truth of it is, Reuben is a pretty good stud. He throws some good dogs.
Yes.
I have dogs personally, I think, that can throw better, and I think you're better off breeding to Blaze than you would be breeding to Reuben. Of course, if you buy the bitch outright and you want to breed to Reuben,
well, they won't do it. They said that they pulled him off. This is what Mr. Williams told me. He didn't say anything about you. I can say this right now. He didn't say anything about you. I called him up and told him that I want to breed a dog like Blaze. And he said that he did not breed Blaze, that you bred him. And that's all that he said. And he said that he was Reuben and a boomerang bitch. And he did not have any boomerang bitches bred to Reuben. And I said, well, can I buy a bitch and stud to Reuben? And he said no, that they were not studding him anymore. They had pulled him off the market because he said that he has thrown the little dog that I saw and also has 4 other dogs matched right now out of Reuben or by Reuben, you see.
Well, he's probably the best stud dog that they have. He's probably vastly superior to the Bad Billy dog that they talk about so much.
Yes. Well,
he's a pretty good stud dog.
Now, I did see one. I don't know much about Bad Billy, but I've heard he was a killer. But I did see one good dog off him also. Do you know those people in Oregon? Their name is Pry.
Oh, Jeff Pry?
Yes. I don't know him, but I was there at a fight where he fought a Bad Billy dog. And the Bad Billy dog killed him in 1 hour 47. A very good dog. Very good dog.
I guess any time you breed a dog to a lot of bitches, you're going to get good dogs and bad dogs. A lot of the Bad Billy dogs have quit down here, but maybe he is throwing some good dogs. But
yes, I don't know. I'm just saying that's the only one I've seen.
Yeah, well,
but now I
saw. I don't think you're really out anything that they took that dog off the market, because I know of stud dogs that are far superior to. Right. In other words, let me put it this way.
Right.
The dog, I had the dog for sale on commission for $500.
Right.
So if I had wanted the dog, and I am a breeder, all I had to do was just give Mr. McMichaels $500, and the dog would have been mine.
Right.
But I really didn't need him. The reason I bred to him was I was in New Mexico, and most of my good stud dogs were in Arizona. I was almost completely moved out of New Mexico, and I had a bitch come in heat, which was Blitz, and he was about the only male on the place.
And he was a game dog, right?
And I knew he was a game dog.
Yes.
So, and I knew he was, a pretty well-bred dog. In other words, and I wanted pups out of Blitz, and it was too difficult to get back to Arizona, so I just said, what the hell, I'll use Reuben. And that's the reason. It wasn't, I only bred to him 2 times the whole time I had the dog, and then, like I say...
Now, the other litter, is there anything out of that?
The other litter, no, there's no... I don't know where any of those dogs are. I think they're all pretty much gone.
Yes.
They're all...
I'm just wondering how they turned out. Any of them were worthy of the pit order?
Not that good. I was pretty disappointed in them.
Yes.
I don't think they were as good as the Blitz litter.
Yes.
I can get another dog for you later on if you want. Well, I got no use confusing the issue.
Yes.
But
all right. Well, what we will do is we will say it's 4 bits, and then if anyone else wants to know, they can just ask you. But for my own benefit, it is Reuben. There's no.
Yes.
So I will know.
Everybody that's gonna.
In case I want to
money with me, I want them to know.
Well,
the truth.
in case I want to breed one of these puppies back to something else, I might find a daughter of Reuben somewhere that might be good or something. I might.
Sure.
Or if you hear of anything.
Might throw some good dogs. Yeah, I'm not saying just because he belongs to some people that I don't like, it doesn't make the dog any lesser quality. And he's not a bad dog, but I mean, it doesn't really matter if they took him off the market,
Right. Well, one thing, if something would happen, and let's say they would die or something before, maybe someday you would tell the real breeding like they do sometimes. If those men would die or something. You could say, well...
Well, sure, I guess.
Yeah, to give Reuben the credit. I don't know him. I did not see him they would not invite me to the place, but I saw the son of
say, you know, if somebody else owned Reuben, I probably would have given the dog the credit, but it was like the guy, you know, the guy is, every chance he gets, he's doing me dirt, and then he calls me up and asks me for a favor. Well, if he treated me halfway decent, I would have been glad to.
Right.
You know, I would have been said, sure, I'll give Reuben the credit, you know, and just say it was a mistake.
Right.
But I said, you must be kidding, man. After all the dirt you've done me, and now you want me to turn around and do you know, do something nice for you.
Right. Right.
But
yes.
No, I got nothing against Reuben. I've always said he's a good game dog.
Well, Mr. Williams treated us very nice over there, and he said that you had bred Reuben, and he said that you had kept, this Mr. Michaels must have had, he said that you had kept him for him. He didn't say Mr. Smith. He said for him. But
that's correct.
Yes.
Yeah, I liked Reuben. I never mistreated that dog. You know, there's stories going around. This is a typical story that I you know, abused the dog and all this stuff, which is a bunch of nonsense. I was very fond of the dog. He had one hard roll, you know, the reason being that the guy was going to buy him as a match dog.
Right.
And he wanted to see him down, and the dog did put a beating on him.
Right.
But he ended up stopping that dog anyway. You know, he come from, the other dog was a rough cur, and Reuben ended up making that dog quit, and he got his legs chewed on pretty bad, but you know.
If something should happen and I ever sell a puppy out of him, if they really want to know, I might tell them like you do, that yes, it is really Reuben, but in print I will say it is your bitch dog.
Okay.
So that at least that way you won't get in any trouble and they won't think that you are a liar.
Well, it's a matter of prestige, you know, after all the, you know, thing that's appeared in the magazine and everything,
yes.
And then if it comes out that he really was out of Reuben, it just make me look bad.
It would make you look like you told a lie, yes.
Yeah, which you know, as a matter of fact, I did tell a lie, but
yes.
So what? You know, the whole, like you say, half of these people and the dogs lie their ass off, you know. And,
well, maybe someday. I've got the favorite saying of my father's. Everything happens good to those that wait. You see what I mean? In other words, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So that if someday, like the Bolio, I've heard all stories about him, you know. Well, now it's worked out where all of his sons and daughters get credit.
Yeah, I did that. I decided
yes.
to...
Yes.
The reason, the story on that was before, when he was still alive,
yes.
I didn't dare, you know, come out and say anything. But then the word got back to Indian Sonny that I had something to do with stealing his dog.
But you did not. Right. I don't believe you did.
And anyway, I just said, well, what the heck? If the guy's going to shoot me or whatever he's going to do, he's already going to do it anyway. So I just told Greenwood, I said, I would like to have him registered as Bolio dogs.
There was a very bad man, you know, in Oregon that you probably know. His name is Ruth.
Yeah, I know.
He stole the dog, didn't he?
No, he didn't.
Oh, I thought he did. Someone told me that he stole it.
I can't really say who
did.
Yes. Because the people that stole him were friends of mine.
Yes. But he did not steal it then.
No, Ruth didn't have a thing to do with it. He would if he got a chance. Like you say, he is a very bad man.
Yes. Very mean.
Yeah. That's. I would like him pretty well. How did you know that?
Well, I didn't know him except they beat someone up there. They beat someone up.
Yeah. He man.
They beat up a referee. The referee decided against our dog and they beat him to a pulp.
Yeah, Dennis Ruth is bad news. Someday somebody will probably kill him.
Well, I'll tell you right now, he'll never beat me up. He won't, because I don't take that. I would just, it's too easy to pull a trigger. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what's going to happen to him. I mean, he's a big, strong guy. He's a black belt in karate. He's a college wrestler. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He's a hard guy to beat in hand-to-hand combat. But just because somebody's big and strong, they shouldn't go around beating everybody up that looks at him cross-eyed. That's crazy.
Right.
And, you know, he's like anybody else. He's a rough cur. If somebody's just as big and strong and tough as he is, he'll probably try and be good friends with him.
Yes.
But if somebody, you know...
That other man that I've heard about like that, his name is Clayton.
Yeah, they're both pretty well...
They say he's a very mean bulldog.
I'd like to lock him in the same room for a few days.
Yes. Well, Mr. Patrick, you are a very nice man, and I can't wait to see you on Sunday. I will call you on Saturday.
Okay, now you're talking about this Sunday.
This Sunday, right? I can have the money Friday.
Well, what I'm going to do, I'll have her all set up to go. I'll have her health certificate and everything.
Right.
And I'm really excited about this.
Now, I'm in and out at that number, but if I'm not there, just leave a message for Eddie. If Eddie answers the phone, leave a message for Eddie or me, and I can get back to you within, say, an hour or two.
Let me, are you going to be calling me back on this?
Yes, on Saturday.
Okay.
I'll call you and tell you They have a flight in the morning and the afternoon, and I don't know which one I'll be taking yet on Sunday.
So
but it's on.
You're going to be going back.
Western Airlines, and I'll go back Monday afternoon or evening. That will give us enough time to get to the bank and cash the money.
If you're not going back by then, I could probably go in and get the health certificate on Monday.
All right, that's fine. All right, that's fine.
Yeah,
and
we can do it.
I will buy a kennel from you at the airport. I won't bring one with me.
No, you don't need a kennel. We have some here.
All right, I will just buy that from you.
Yeah, no.
And maybe someday Reuben will get the credit. Who knows? Maybe someday.
Oh yeah, like
yeah,
I say,
eventually. He will be like Bolio.
If you buy that Reuben dog, then I'd turn around and I couldn't.
Well,
it would just. It's too much has gone on now. It would make me look like my work is no good.
I don't get the journal, but Eddie read me the one letter in there from Mr. Wichita.
Yeah, he backed me up on the deal.
Yes.
See, so.
That's why I couldn't understand why then when Eddie talked to him, he told him without even asking. He said, "Yes, it's Reuben."
I know it.
It kind of made us wonder what we were getting into.
He did good. He did me good by writing that letter. He backed me up, and then I told him, "Now keep your mouth shut, Steve." I said, "What people talk," but I guess he just can't help it, you know.
Yes.
But anyway, Tessie's your dog then.
All right.
And I'm sure that Steve will give you the breeding. I called him, but he wasn't home.
All right.
I'll call him again.
You can let me know on Saturday when I call that everything is all right, and that way I won't come if it's not then.
Yeah, well,
right.
This is really great. And like I say, if you want, I can help you with all your dog deals.
All right.
I know, you know, with the kind of money you're talking about spending, I can set you up with the finest dogs in the world.
All right.
You know, they won't have to take a back seat to anybody.
Well, I will spend my money with you, and if you can just get me a good match dog when I bring her back now.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Patrick, let me go, and I will talk to you on Saturday.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Got this.